It is a new year and a new vibration. And those of you that have been around know that this is the Year of Brotherhood. So, we want to start with looking at that just a bit. Brotherhood is really not about making someone more important than you, even though your mom and dad taught you to do that. It's about finding your place in the continuum. It's not about making someone more important. It's about finding your place. No matter where we are contributing. No matter what we're doing, we're contributing. Our thoughts, our words, anything that we're involved in, we are contributing to the whole, whether it's constrictive energy or expansive energy. This is the nature of being human and being alive. When we find the place where we are connected with our source, all we say and do is a blessing to the whole. So as we look at the idea of brotherhood, let's take it just a slightly different way. In Jesus, Teacher and Healer by White Eagle, he says this. We know there are many teachers on your earth who are speaking and urging individualism, the importance of individual development. We do not decry this, but we suggest that in the Aquarian age there is a fuller understanding necessary for man. While each soul is a unit and must develop within its capacity its own inner strength, along with the development of that individual strength, there must be the unfoldment of the Great Spirit, the Christ Spirit. So that there is not merely individualism, there is universalism. The Brotherhood is endeavoring to help humanity to understand and to develop the universal Christ love. The unit must eventually become completely absorbed into the whole, yet it still retains its individuality. It may help you to think of the grain of sand on the shore. Few have gone as far as developing the self into that selfless, but be strong in the self, and be stronger in the selfless. Okay, ready, breathe. So the idea of individualism versus brotherhood has been an interesting, almost dichotomy that we live in, because we really are urged to develop the self, to become that great demonstrator, that great accomplisher on the earth plane, to make our dreams come true. And we do that first and foremost. We gather people around us to support us in our dream. And then off we go. And that is how we are raised. That's our American way. In 2001, we had the opportunity to go to Scotland. And we went to this place that was by Loch Awe. It was called Port Sonacon. And our visual compass, based on what we're used to seeing, we would say that this place was extremely isolated. Tiny, tiny, tiny village. Tiny, tiny, no store, post office, with a few little things around. So tiny. Well off the beaten path. And I had the opportunity to experience some communication with some beings that were there. So, apparently, there had been a clan that lived in the area. And apparently, when they crossed over, or made transition, or died, they would lift up into the ethers and they would reassemble as the clan. They did not go on. Like we go on, we encourage go on. Go to your soul, talk to God, figure out what's going on so you can reincarnate. Well, these folks went up and stayed together. And I don't know how long they had been doing that or if they were continuing to do it, but I know that there was a group of them. The first night in our little, it wasn't quite a hotel, it was abode. I was not allowed to sleep. I went to bed and I was interrogated all night long. What are you doing here? Who are you? What's up with you? And you go into that space where your conscious mind can't let go because they won't stop talking. The next night, the same thing. Who are you? What are you doing here? They don't trust me. Who am I? All night long. Well, by the third day, I was exhausted. So I laid down that night, and as I was going to sleep, this very deep voice with a strong Scottish drawl said to me, "You'll sleep tonight." I said, "Thank God." So I slept, and then he and I started having conversations, and he would just appear even when I was awake, and we would have these conversations. And so we're chatting along, and I'm very careful about what I say to him, because I do not want to be put under their microscope any longer. You know, I'm here to vacation with my family. So at one point I said to him very carefully, I said, "It seems to me that you have made brotherhood so important that it is to the detriment of the individual." And he said, "It seems to me that you and your country make individualism more important, so it is to the detriment of brotherhood." And I went, "Yes, you're right." So we had these further conversations about life, where I'm watching my P's and Q's, and I'm listening to him. But I'm also thinking, being the bright light that I am, that I'm bringing light everywhere I go. Little Pompa's still in there. I thought one day I should perhaps tell him about what we really do when we cross over. So I said to him, "You know, in my teaching, in my belief system, not that you should change yours, but in my belief system, we believe that when people cross over, that they should go on to their soul so that they can grow and evolve and become greater of who they need to be." And he said to me very calmly, "What makes you think that these people who are with me are not doing exactly what their soul needs them to do?" And I went, "Oh, okay." So that was our relationship. I learning from him listening to me. But I came away not really fully understanding brotherhood either, because I knew the value of individual expression, and they had this fierce commitment. It was a fierce commitment to belong. The beings, they were fiercely committed to belong. So I came back with this, I shall ponder these things. I haven't talked to him but once or twice since, and they're expanding and we're expanding. But in my mind, the idea of brotherhood had always been caught in the idea of being able to rely on someone. Brotherhood, you can rely on that person. And that's what they were demonstrating in their Brotherhood Collective. And when we come back into my world, and I'm looking at our world, in the world of religion and church, and the world of commitment, when someone overcommits, you know the first thing that gets cut? Oh, do tell me. It's your church commitment. It's your faith. As you overcommit in your life, the first thing you cut out is your meditation time. The second thing, the drive. I can't do the drive. Oh, I'll watch them on YouTube. Oh, I don't have time for YouTube. Oh, I'll send a check someday. And we do that because we know that that church is by law required to forgive us. There will be no karma coming, because we will be forgiven. So in the energy of the idea of brotherhood, wouldn't we want to come together spiritually as a brotherhood? Yet the idea of relying on one another in a spiritual community, sometimes it's the last thing that's fulfilled. You can breathe and be with that. All right. Wanted to look a little at Jesus' life, and this is a story when he was less than 12 years old. He is being queried by one of his teachers, and the teachers, launched into a long dissertation. I won't go into all of it. But Jesus has given him some answers that this guy says, you should not know. You are too little, too young, and you should know these things. So the teacher says to him, your words are seasoned with the salt of wisdom that is from above. Who was the teacher that opened this up to you? And Jesus said, I do not know that any teacher opened this truth for me. It seems that truth was never shut, that it is always open, for truth is one and it's everywhere. And if we open up the windows of our minds, the truth will enter in and make herself at home. For truth can find a way through any crevice, any window, and any open door. And the rabbi said, "What hand is strong enough to open up the windows and doors of the mind so truth can enter in?" Again, seeking for source. Who taught you? And Jesus said, "It seems to me that love, the golden cord that binds the 10 Commandments is one, is strong enough to open any human door so truth can enter in and cause the heart to understand." So love opens the door to truth. So he went home that night, he's a little kid, and he's talking to his mom, and he says this: "The rabbi seems to think that God is partial in his treatment of the sons of men, that Jews are favored and blessed above all other men. I do not see how God can have his favors and be just. Are not the Samaritans and the Greeks and the Romans just as much children of the Holy One as the Jews? I think the Jews have built a wall about themselves, and they see nothing on the other side of it. They do not know that the flowers are blooming over there, that sowing times and reaping times belong to anybody but the Jews. It surely would be well if we could break these barriers down so the Jews might see that God has other children that are just as greatly blessed. I want to go from my Jewry land and meet my kin in other countries of my fatherland." In that moment, this young heart saw the connection of his brothers. Why would truth be shut from anyone? Why would truth be shut from anyone? Jesus the child saw the connection, not each other with each other, but everyone with God. They were the children of God. And if they're the children of God, and I'm a child of God, then we are connected. As we look at the world today, each one is as connected to Creator as I am. Would you say that was true? Everyone is as connected to Creator as I am. Does everyone access it? But are they? So they are equal in consciousness and in love. How do I know these people are not in their right and perfect place for their soul's evolution? How do I know that they are not doing exactly what they need to do? Yet through their connection with God and my connection with God, are they still my brothers? Yes. Jesus connected men at their divinity. He honored their humanness. He always honored their humanness, didn't he? He'd go eat with them. He'd chat with them. He had compassion. He honored their humanness, but he connected with their spirit. There is the word namaste. People would say namaste to one another. Namaste. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. Namaste. Not the humanness of me is really connected with the humanness of you. The Christ in me beholds the Christ in you. And when that exchange occurs, don't you feel uplifted, enlightened? Because someone has seen the spirit of the I am in you. All right. And then we go back to our human definition. Our human definition, brotherhood. We're in this together. We need to be able to rely on each other. You people, I need to be able to rely on you. We're in this together. You know, brotherhood. Isn't that our definition in our human consciousness? So I was talking to my son the other day. We had these interesting conversations. And we were talking about friends. And so we were trying to connect the idea of friends. And he said, "Mom, you don't have the same energy around friendship that I have." He said, "Everybody's your friend." I said, "Of course they are. I love them. I see the God in them. If I see the God in them, they're my friend." He goes, "Yeah. Yeah." So he said, "I understand and I agree with you. I love them too. But I would not call them, if I had a flat tire, to come and help me fix it. There are people on the earth that I would rely on, and I would not call them. But the people that I would call are the friends of my world. The other people I love, but they're not the ones I rely on." And we came up from two different worlds. I moved around a lot as a child, so all the friendships I created, I knew they were temporary. Love you dearly, for a couple of years I'm out of here, you know. He has come up with the same group since before kindergarten. And they are still in their late 20s gathering all the time. Their group only grows, it never diminishes. So these young men have a commitment to one another that is something that I did not experience. So as he's sharing this with me, I go, I understand what you're saying. In a sense, who would I call to help me fix my tire? You know? So, where do we find brotherhood in this? So I want to introduce a new thought. What if we kept our eyes on heaven? Instead of trying to measure everything, what if we kept our eyes on heaven? Jesus was always communing with the silent brotherhood. We read it so often we just skip right over it. And Jesus sat in silent thought with the white brotherhood for 7 days. Went, yeah. What was happening next? You know, we just totally dismiss that. But it's in there throughout the text. He's always in communication with Spirit and with the other side and with the angels. He's always talking to them. And right before anything happens, he goes and he sits in the silence to understand, to become one with God, to feel. Every important moment he's doing this. And what you know intellectually but may not realize from your heart and from your totality of matter, each one of you brought in a celestial team when you were born. You know, we speak very freely about our guardian angel. Oh, I have a guardian angel. Yeah. Do you ever talk to your guardian angel? Oh, we have some talkers, yay. Most of us don't. And when I do readings, it's one of the most wonderful things to see when I connect with my clients, angels and guides and teachers. They're always in the auric field above the crown. And you can see, some of them are just so connected, it's so bright, so alive. And you know they are just really getting downloads all the time. They're really connected. Then there are those who have this big block right here at the top. And then they might have one angel right here and another one way back in the back whispering, hey, I need to talk to you. But the big block in the top says, you know, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So I really don't want to hear anything you have to say because I'm still about doing what I need to do. And what is that called? Individualism. It's all on my shoulders and I'm going to do it. You see? And then other people have this gray, brown energy right around the crown chakra and this beautiful, illustrious team of angels around. And it's the worry of life keeps them from hearing the guidance. And this is every single person on the planet has a team with them. Every single person on the planet. I don't care if you're completely intellectual and have no belief in God whatsoever. You have a team with you. You have a team with you that are here to help you in what you do. If you are a specialized trade in the world, you'll have a team with you that helps you with that. You'll have your guardian with you, of course, but you have all these beautiful celestial beings that are with you. Take a breath. You know, we call them in all the time when we do our centering prayer, don't we? I do that for a reason. You are here. Your team helps guide you. They help open your heart. They help talk to you. On a Sunday service, this place is packed with angelic beings. Packed. And they love being acknowledged. They love it. So, you have a personal team. You also have access to the Silent Brotherhood. And the Silent Brotherhood is this group of loving beings whose job is to help mankind on earth evolve. You can touch that light, which is just the purest love possible. Are you hearing me? Okay. When I am one with my celestial team and one with the Silent Brotherhood, I am with people I can rely on. That's where my dependence goes. I can hear the Sunday service. I can be guided as to what to prepare. I can come in here. I can sit down and go, oh no, I don't know what I'm doing. I can go back into my humanness. And then I hear a voice that says, we already gave it to you. You're good. Oh yeah, let me rely on you. I'm going to rely on you to be with me. I'm going to rely on the Christ to be with me. Do you hear? And they're there whether you specifically go for every detail or not. Just your morning prayer and meditation, asking that your team be with you during the day, you've opened the door. That's all you have to do. And they're there, and the energy is there. And I will tell you, if my celestial team and my Silent Brotherhood tell me to call any of you for help when I have a flat tire, I'm going to call you. Because I'm going to trust that you are where you need to be to help me. I'm not going to look in my list of friends to see who loves me the most and wouldn't mind being, put out a wee bit to helping me. I'm going to ask those I rely on who to turn to, who to ask. And I will love and honor all the channels, whether you're the one that I call or not. So, when I'm with my angelic team, and you're with your angelic team, it actually brings us into a commonality on our walk. When I am in my awareness of spirit, and you are in your awareness of spirit, we come into this common theme. And then we can enjoy a fierce commitment to creating heaven on earth. Instead of the fierce commitment to belong, we now have a fierce commitment to create. Do you see that? And then we find our place in the continuum. The place with our celestial team. What if we walked knowing we are being guided by Spirit every moment? We are expressing our individuality, our uniqueness. Don't you think they need our uniqueness? When you see the beautiful choir come up here and sing, and each tone and voice is different, what if they all sounded the same? We wouldn't like it so much, would we? We love each tone and each vibration and each voice coming together to create a beautiful song. That's what we all sound like when we're singing our tone in the grand plan. We're a beautiful, beautiful song of life. Brotherhood. What if, as we go through this year of brotherhood, we, at this church, we who hear this message, decide we belong to the brotherhood of the divine, and we seek to enjoy the brotherhood of man. And every man belongs to the brotherhood of the divine. How would that change our behavior? It would change us, wouldn't it? Well, anytime there's a theme for a year, the universe is so benevolently good to us. We will get opportunities to exercise this. So, we will have brotherhood in our face in a very negative and challenging way, or we can choose to have it in a very melodic way, where we are channeling that beautiful light, singing our song, and relying on our place in the continuum, trusting that we're in right and perfect place. Think about it. Does it feel like something you'd want to try? Yes. All right, well, let's just take a moment to go meet our team. Just find a comfortable space in your chair. I want you to feel the beautiful light of God coming over you. God, our Father, our Mother, I ask that each one be held in a sacred light. And as the light pours through the top of your head, moving through your body, let your heart soften. Feel a radiant light in your heart. Feel Jesus Christ by your side. And I want you to go on a little journey with me. Wherever you focus your attention, you will go. I want you to imagine that your attention now goes up into the top of your head, to your crown chakra. That beautiful area where the divine is always present. And I want you to see a beautiful color coming into your mind's eye as you move into that space. It may feel quite unfamiliar up here. A little lighter, perhaps. A little out of control. I want you to move into that space. And see a beautiful golden light becoming almost material in front of you. as if you're walking into the ethers themselves. And I want you to feel the presence of a being of light coming forward, an angel. And this is your guardian angel. Take a moment to feel them. There may be absolutely nothing descriptive at all about your guardian angel, other than love. For they are here to feed you when you cannot feed yourself. To hold you on the path of love when you cannot find your feet there. They helped you come into your body as a baby. They will be with you when you exit. Feel the love. Just take them by the hand and thank them. You are as important to them as they are to you. Feel that beautiful relationship. And now let your eye go to the mist ahead and become aware of your team. You may not be able to see all of them, but whoever comes forward, allow. There may be only 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. And notice they have different energies to bring different gifts to you. If one steps forward, that's fine. If they do not, that's fine. I want you just to see them. Feel how supported you are in your unfoldment of you. They come not to tell you what to do, but to help you in what you choose. Just breathe in their energy and send thank you to them. Just the thought of thank you. And just feel that Christ by your side, always. And in this moment, know that you are surrounded by emissaries of the love of God. You are not alone. And as you feel this, become aware that every one of your brothers and sisters is surrounded with emissaries of love. Take a breath and see a beautiful light over your head and lift up into that light. It's just a pure light. Just lift up and feel yourself being fed by that beautiful light of God. Lift up into a sense of oneness for a moment. Father, Mother God, I surrender to the divine purpose of my life, that which my soul has chosen. Help me feel my place in the continuum of your love. Feel your energy expand. We love you, God, so much. And we embrace the oneness. Let the light feed you for a moment. Feel the Christ by your side as he gently brings you back. Back through the crown chakra and back into your heart. And when you feel your presence in your heart, feel that you are supported and strong. Let your focus come to your body now, the chair that you sit on. But be aware of the light all around you. I now walk in the brotherhood of the divine. And in that, all is well. And so, thank you. Breathe, and you can gently open your eyes. Do you all see them? Feel them, sense them? Some people don't see, some people just feel. For this week, if you would just take a moment every day to thank this team that is with you, to feel that beautiful love of oneness pouring through you, and begin to see that we are all on this spiritual journey of brotherhood. And watch how the world begins to shift around you, the little things. So, I behold all of my brothers and sisters. Each of you may be subject to a phone call. Say, yea, God.
Yea, God.